love triangles force us to reflect on who we are, what we need, and what we're willing to give up in the pursuit of happiness. The most challenging part of being in a love triangle is letting go of the fear of making the wrong choice and trusting that your heart knows the way. Love triangles challenge our expectations of what love should be, showing us that sometimes it's not about finding the one, but understanding who we are in the process. Sometimes being in a love triangle is about choosing the love that brings you the most peace, not the one that excites your heart the most. When caught between two loves, it's easy to lose yourself, but the most important choice is remembering who you are outside of them both. A love triangle isn't just about who wins your heart. It's about finding the balance between your heart's desires and your inner peace. The most confusing part of a love triangle is when you realize that you are not just choosing between two people, but also between two versions of yourself. In a love triangle, you learn that love is not a competition. It's a connection that requires honesty, vulnerability, and understanding. Love can sometimes feel like a tug of war, but the key is realizing that both love and self-respect are equally important in the equation. Being in a love triangle is a reminder that love is never simple, but it's also about understanding how to nurture your heart amidst all the complexity. In a love triangle, the hardest part is finding a way to navigate your emotions without losing sight of your own needs and desires. Sometimes the only choice you need to make in a love triangle is whether you're ready to let go of one love to make room for the other. Being torn between two loves is difficult, but it's also an opportunity to grow, learn, and choose the path that aligns with your heart. A love triangle can reveal more about your heart's true desires than you could ever have imagined. It teaches you what truly matters. In the end, a love triangle forces you to confront the deep, unanswered questions about what it means to love and be loved. Being in a love triangle doesn't just involve picking one person over another. It involves understanding who you are and what you truly need. Every love triangle challenges us to face the truth of our feelings, and in that truth, we often find a deeper understanding of ourselves. The complexity of being in a love triangle is that it forces you to make decisions that affect not only your heart, but your life's direction. When you love two people, there's no easy way out, but there is a way to find clarity through patience and introspection. A love triangle can feel overwhelming, but it's in these moments of tension that you uncover the strength to make the decision that's right for you. Loving two people at the same time is a journey of discovering your own heart, its desires, its fears, and its capacity for growth. Love triangles are messy, but they're also an opportunity to understand what real love looks like and what it requires from you. When caught in a love triangle, it's important to remember that the path to true love often requires choosing yourself first. In a love triangle, the hardest decision is often the one that helps you discover your own heart and its deepest truths. In a love triangle, the most important person to choose is yourself, because only by knowing what you need can you truly give love freely. Love triangles aren't just about picking the right person, they're about picking the life you want to live and the heart you want to nurture. You don't just fall for two people at once. You fall for the possibilities they represent and the future they make you dream of. Being torn between two hearts can feel like drowning, but sometimes you have to sink in order to rise with clarity. Sometimes the best way to solve a love triangle is to let time and your inner peace guide you. Only then will the right choice be clear. In love triangles, emotions run high, but they also reveal truths about what truly matters in a relationship: honesty, trust, and commitment. When you're caught between two loves, it's easy to feel lost. But within that confusion lies the potential for profound self-discovery. The hardest part of a love triangle isn't choosing between two people. It's choosing to trust that your heart knows the way. Love triangles can push you to the edge, but it's there that you often find the courage to take the leap into your own heart's desires. In the chaos of a love triangle, the quietest voice in your heart may be the one that leads you to clarity and peace. A love triangle tests your heart's limits, but it also forces you to decide how much you're willing to give and how much you're willing to protect. Love is complicated when you're torn between two hearts, each pulling in different directions, yet both seem to hold pieces of your soul. Being in a love triangle feels like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, unsure whether to jump or to hold on tightly to what you have. Your heart is a puzzle, and right now, it's missing the final piece. The challenge is deciding which piece fits best. The emotions are mixed. One moment, it's all passion and desire. The next, it's uncertainty and confusion. A love triangle changes everything. Loving two people at the same time is not about selfishness. It's a test of what it means to truly connect with another person. A love triangle is a battlefield where no one wins, and yet everyone leaves a little more broken than before. In the midst of choosing between two loves, it's easy to forget that your own heart deserves just as much attention and care. The hardest part of a love triangle isn't choosing who to love. It's figuring out what's best for you when you feel torn between your heart's desires. Being caught in a love triangle can leave you feeling like you're walking on a tightrope, balancing between emotions, but never truly reaching a place of peace. Every love triangle brings a new layer of understanding about yourself, what you need, what you want, and what you're truly willing to fight for. When you love two people, it's like being split in half, each half pulling you in different directions, but neither fully completing you. In a love triangle, no matter how hard you try to avoid the pain, someone always ends up with a broken heart. The truth is, we are always drawn to the ones who challenge our hearts. But sometimes the heart's challenges only complicate what could have been simple. You can't control who you fall for, but you can control what you do with the feelings that arise when you're torn between two loves. Being in love with two people at once is both a blessing and a curse. Blessing because of the love, curse because of the uncertainty it brings. A love triangle isn't just about who wins your heart, it's about discovering your own true desires in the process. It's easy to think that being in a love triangle means you're lost, but sometimes it's a journey of self-discovery, even if it's painful. In a love triangle, you're not just choosing between two people, you're choosing between two versions of yourself. It's hard to explain to someone that your heart is occupied, not because you don't want them, but because someone else has a piece of it too. The tug of war in your heart is never about who you love more. It's about finding peace within yourself while you navigate the emotions. Love can be confusing when you find yourself caught between two people who both make you feel alive and adored, but also uncertain and torn. In a love triangle, you often lose sight of what you truly want because you're too focused on trying to please everyone involved. A love triangle forces you to look at your own vulnerabilities and strengths, revealing what you need to truly heal and grow. When love is divided, the heart becomes a battlefield, and sometimes the only way to find peace is by choosing yourself over both. Choosing between two loves feels impossible because you're not just picking a person, you're picking your future, your happiness, and your heart's peace. The beauty of a love triangle is the opportunity it gives you to understand what real love means and whether you're ready to embrace it. You can't expect to make everyone happy when you're in love with two people. It's not about pleasing them, but understanding your own heart. Being torn between two people can sometimes feel like you're walking on a line between fantasy and reality, never knowing where you truly stand. Love triangles force us to confront our deepest fears of rejection and heartbreak, all while trying to hold on to something that feels both exciting and dangerous. Your heart may feel stretched, but it doesn't mean it's broken. Sometimes, love just needs time to find its true direction. It's not about choosing who you love the most. It's about discovering which love helps you become the best version of yourself. Sometimes being in a love triangle means you need to take a step back, breathe, and remember that your heart deserves clarity and not confusion. Loving two people is like being in two different worlds at once, both beautiful, both exciting, but neither fully yours. A love triangle teaches us that sometimes love doesn't come with easy answers. It's a journey that requires deep introspection and courage. Being torn between two hearts is painful, but it's also a powerful reminder of the importance of being true to your own feelings and desires. In a love triangle, you're not just choosing between two people, you're choosing between two paths, both filled with potential, but also risk.